Right, I just wanted to talk a bit about, someone was asking about the saws that I use. Traditionally, I mean, for large carpentry work, we'd always use something like this. I always thought, when I started, I bought this and modified the handle a little bit, but I thought, I need a proper saw. I don't really use it anymore. They are still handy having hand saws, but the big, heavy duty, I think this is probably a 20, maybe 22 inch saw. Still working inch for some reason and imperial metric. Sharpening them, it's fallen out of favour. I can understand most of the time as well. You've got like a nice old distance saw. You don't want to bring it on a site and start cutting composite. They don't cut composite particularly well. But with modern, there's a modern adaptation. It's something like by Tajima, and it's like a Japanese, but so it's a bit like a Western saw. Because if you look at a proper Japanese saw, like this, I don't know what you call them. It's like Ryoba. This is a Gyokucho. I'm just going to butcher this completely, but Gyokucho Japanese saw, and this one's good because it's you have a crosscut and a rip, all in one saw. What you could do with these other saws, but it obviously works a lot better the way the teeth are set. For this one, for on site, it's got a nice sheath that protects it. You can replace the blades and you keep the handle. Because it's got no back on it either, it's quite good to get into places, and you can sort of bend it a bit. And it's a really good saw. Really. I've used this quite a long time, and I don't know how long I've had it for, but I'd go from something more like this than the traditional big British saw. But the Japanese saws, they are. You have something more fine where you'd have a back on it, and again you keep the handle, and then you just replace the blade, and they're very fine, some of them. And then you've got something that's a bit more coarse, and that's, again, it's got no back on it. So, but obviously when they've got a back, they can be finer because they're very flexible. There's something like that, you can bend it into for cutting off flush on dowels, like a dowel cutter, something like this, which was a Stanley one, and I've just made a new handle for it because it came with a horrible Fat Max sort of plasticky handle, so I just made a nice wooden one out of a bit of ash and stuck it on. You see that bends ever so much, and you can cut flush with dowels and things if you use them to cover up screws. And this, I've nicked the end of it, so I've just cut it off, but imagine that being round. Another one, but this is more for sort of very detailed stuff, like dovetailing or something. They're all, they're lovely saws, and I like them. I did restore my grandfather's. So, we're looking at the main ones you'd use for British work would be, these are, I think this is a Tyzac or something. Was it Diston? Not sure. But yeah, you get a brass back traditional carpenter's tenon saw, if that's a 14 or something. And then it's a Sorby? What name of the, I don't know, to be honest, but anyway, nice little sort of dovetail, fine saw, and they are lovely. The handle. Look at that. It's they are, and they fit the hand so well. My hands are a bit big, but that just about fits. The way you'd use it. They're now nice, and I do admit they're nice to look at, but for using them, the Japanese stuff, as well, if you've got some of the blades, once the blades, the teeth go, you just replace the blade and you've got the handle still. So it's less going to the landfill, like some of the modern British saws. They always go to the tip, which are a bit of a waste, because once they're hardport once they're dull, and like that, you can't sharpen them. But these, they make great scrapers, and I just think there's another use for them. And they're, I like them a lot, to be honest. And I've always been more sort of traditionally into British carpentry and joinery, but if it works, I'm going to go for it. And The only thing I couldn't quite stand with theirs is the chisels, because of all the faffing with them. I can understand why people like them. I just, all that wax on, wax off stuff, I just think it's a bit pointless, really. But there you go. The whole Zen thing of sharpening, I need to get it sharp quickly so I can carry on working. Yeah, I'll talk about chisels another day. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, that's about it, really. But I mean, like I said, there's loads of saws out there. Just find what works for you, really. But you know, power tools have taken over, really, and you know, for production work and things. But if you're just at home and stuff, you don't need a fancy saw. You know, these saws, you know, the Harport ones now, I mean, once they're fresh out of the box, they are amazing to work with, and they stay ever so sharp. So yeah, it depends what you want to do. But yeah, well, thanks for watching. Oh, my coffee's gone cold. Thanks, bye.